everybody. Welcome back to Freight Broker Chic. I am here with the master trainer, Mr. Dexter Levette himself. First of all, thank you so much for following. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got so many exciting things coming for you and things to talk to you about. Being in business and being an entrepreneur is never easy. And so I get a lot of questions from you guys that might be interested in becoming a broker. How soon can I make money? I don't have any knowledge. How can I learn? What does it take? Do I have to be a truck driver? Do I have to be a dispatcher in order to get into the business? And so that's just going to talk a little bit about that. What it takes to not only get in brokering, but what it takes to stay in brokering and be successful, because that's the bottom line. I mean, well, who wants to get up in the morning and be in a business and not be successful?
Well, I think sometimes people have to understand you have to get business minded. This is a 100% legitimate business where you're going to have to, if you're successful, have to start your own LLC, get an EIN number, get your tax certification number from your particular state that you're in, pay federal taxes, pay taxes, and also have an accountant. So it is a 100% bid. Also, you need to have your daytimes free. You have to have your daytimes free to be a broker, because you're going to be calling companies, talking to traffic managers or traffic departments of different companies, telling them about your services that you can actually provide. And also, if they like you, they will start giving you lanes to rate. Now, once they give you lanes to rate, it could be in the form of 1 or 2 lanes, or it could be a spreadsheet. If it's a spreadsheet, that could be possibly a bid. And you, of course, you always want to get in a bid with a company, because that's multiple lanes, which gives you multiple chances of winning.
Okay, great point. Because you said you want to get bids or lanes to quote
from customers.
And so I wanted to just interject real quick, because this is a sales job. I don't think people really understand until they actually go through Dexter's training, because that is part of the training that he does, is that he'll do mock phone calls with you guys. So you will need to hone in and develop your sales skills.
Right. You're wearing many different hats being a broker, exactly. Because first you have to be a salesperson, because then first you have to sell your business, or what your transportation to an actual company that actually needs you to move truckload freight for them. After that, you have to become a wheeler and a dealer, because now, once you get the load from the actual customer, they've given you a certain amount of money, okay? So now you have to go and actually sell the load to an actual carrier, and hopefully pay less than what the actual customer is giving you, and there is where you make a profit. In other words, if a customer gives you $4,000 to move the load, and you can move it for $3,000 with a carrier, then you've made $1,000 profit. But sometimes it doesn't always work like that. There are some times that you might get a load and you don't have as much money as you should on it. So now, if you're getting multiple loads from this customer, you say, okay, well, I'm making good over here. Should I take a loss with this customer, or should I call them for an increase? No customer likes to be called and ask for more money.
Correct.
Again, I tell you, no customer likes to be called. Now, in certain instances, it's no way around it, because it might be a tough lane to actually cover, like going to Wyoming or going to Oregon or something like that. So, or going to one of those states there's nobody at. But if it's a easy load, your phones light up really fast. Like if it's a Chicago to Atlanta, man, your phones light up fast, and you can basically, the more carriers that call in interested on the load, the more bartering power you have. You might get one guy that says, I'll do it for $4,500. Next guy, you talk that guy down. You'll do it for $4,250, right? The next guy do it for $4,000. Then you hit that guy and say, I'll do it for $3,500. You tell the other guys, I'm sorry, the load's been covered, and you send the load tender out to the guy who was $3,500. So instead of making $1,000, now you made $1,500. Okay, we call that chasing the money.
Well, and it's also, what he's saying is, number one, he said it's a sales job. Number two, you have to develop your negotiating skills, because you're going to be negotiating not only with your customer, but also negotiating with the carrier or the dispatcher, whoever whoever's maybe representing the driver.
Right.
is going to negotiate, because the dispatcher's working on behalf of the driver and carrier, wanting to make sure they get the most that they can, because they got a business to run too. Whereas your customer is saying, well, I got a business to run too, and I don't want to pay but this much. This is my bottom line, and you're the mediator in the middle. So this is really crucial. Why I asked him to talk about what it takes to maintain and be a successful broker. As he already said, you're wearing many hats.
All right. So now, after the deal is cut with the carrier, now comes the real important part: the carrier actually picking up the load on time and delivering on time, and nothing happening to the load in during transportation.
Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully.
So now, once the actual carrier picks up the load, now you're moving into tracking and tracing. Now you need to update your customer. Okay, load's been picked up Monday morning, 7 a.m. In time 7:10, out time 8:30, in transit. And so you have to relay that to your actual customer, and you also have to probably put it in your TMS system to just update yourself. And then you need to update your customer throughout the day where the clothes is coming in to it actually delivers. Make sure you always call to see if a delivery appointment needs to be made for delivery. Again, I say always call to see if a delivery appointment needs to be made for delivery. If you get a truck and you're more interested about the profit that you made off the load, instead of doing your broker job, which is to make sure that it delivers, and you didn't call and make an appointment, well, a layover fee is $200 to $250 a night. If you only made $1,500 off of that load and you didn't make an appointment, that truck gets there and it can't deliver for 3 days, well, guess what? You just lost $750 of that $1,500 profit, because now that truck might have to lay over 3 days until it can actually deliver. So you got to be a salesperson, you got to be a negotiator, and then you have to track and trace, and at the same time, the detailer, and at the same time, you've got to be keeping sure that your profit margins are good. But
And
if
an
you
accountant.
and accountant, right? And that's when you start making the big money. But you have to. The biggest thing about being a broker, tenacity.
Yes.
You have to fall in love with brokering. You have to fall in love with brokering. You just got to fall in love with it. Just like Tom Brady loves football, I love brokering. You have to fall in love with what you love, and if you love it, Beyonce and Jay-Z love music. Everybody has to find their niche, and once you know you're there, the only way you're going to find it is if you actually push yourself. You have to be tenacious. You have to keep on pushing yourself. And the weird thing about brokering, you're making sales phone calls, and sometimes you don't feel like you're moving anywhere, but then all of a sudden you start getting these other phone calls back and these emails back, and sometimes you don't even remember the person. You've called so many, you say, when did I call this person? But they are now interested in your services.
And he's here. The last thing, he is here to walk you through it all.
Oh yeah, I mentor.
One of the best coaches and mentors that I've ever met. So you will not be out there on your own if you decide to train with us. Again, you may have your own agency, and just we do have a lot of people who follow the page that have their own agency and just love the information we put out.
And there's a lot of people who've opened their own brokerage, but then once they open their brokerage, they feel like, wait a minute, I don't know anything. I've got my authority, I got my MC number. Got my insurance, but I don't know nothing about brokering.
So you're the person we're looking for.
Right. Come and learn with us.
Learn with us.
And save some money.
Exactly. So I will have additional information in the comment section. Thank you guys again for watching. We just really appreciate your time. We know how busy you are. And we will see you next time here on Freight Broker Chic. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.